All right, all right. Welcome to the Strongside podcast. My name's Mitchell Black, and I'm your host. And today, my voice sounds a little scratchy, as my wife Kim was making fun of me. And we're gonna have a good episode here. So, episode 42, I believe it is, and we are gonna do an Ironman Chattanooga recap. So, me and my wife, and if you guys are viewing live right now, you can see her sitting next to me. You're about to hear her on the podcast. We just participated in the Ironman Chattanooga yesterday, and this is our second full Ironman. A full Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, followed by a 112 mile bike, and then a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles. You do that one after another. So you swim, and then you change as quickly as you can, and you bike, and you change as quickly as you can, and you run. You have 16 hours, 16 or 17 hours to complete the whole thing, and there's check marks throughout the day. You have to be through the checkpoints at certain times to be allowed to continue. And your score per se is basically time. So the faster you get done with it, the faster the better your score. And yeah, so now we're just gonna chit chat about our experience. We're sitting kind of upright. I'm pretty tired after yesterday.
Very tired.
And Kim doesn't talk a whole lot, so we've done a lot of coaching here, and also too, you guys, as we go through this podcast, you guys put a lot of questions on Facebook ahead of time, and you should be able to comment right now, and we can see any of your questions. Yeah, I can see your questions. So, so where do you want to start, Kimbo?
I guess on race day before that.
Yeah, you want to start with the fact that we've done one Ironman before. You want to talk about how that one went?
That one went okay.
Yeah. Well, the special thing about that one, and everybody hears about that one, is we found each other on mile 80 or 90 on the bike, and then we got to run the whole marathon together.
More like walked.
More like what it did. It didn't go well. The last one took 15 hours and 45 minutes on a 16-hour cap. Yep.
We hardly made it.
Yeah, didn't train appropriately. I feel like this one was way better trained for, which leads to our first question. So we got an outline of what we're gonna talk about here with the swim and transition and bike and run and all that. But a lot of people had questions, and remember, you can comment your questions and we'll answer them. But the first question we got was like, how much training do you have to do one of these things? Do you want to answer that, Kim?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm the best judge of training.
I'd say I know. So we didn't train that much. So I think that you need at least like 11 to 14 hours a week, somewhere around there. For most people, I try to say like look at how long your goal time is for the race and try to do that in a week, and then work it down from there. And then once you can do it in 7 days, do it in like 5 days. Stuff like that. And that kind of like builds into your training a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking? Four days a week?
Yeah, 4 days a week. But like, how long? Like 6 months, a year?
No, I'd say 9 months.
9 months.
I'd say 9 months, 4 days a week, 2 long days, and then 2 moderate days.
Yeah, definitely didn't do that.
At minimum. That's what I would advise to the viewers at home. Right? So let's talk about race day. So race day was literally yesterday. Today's Monday. You race on a Sunday. I don't know about Kim, but I got 3 hours of sleep. I mean, I took melatonin. I was trying to sleep and I just couldn't go to sleep. And then when I finally did go to sleep, I'm waking up every 30 minutes because I'm so anxious. I swear I peed like 50 times in the middle of the night just from being nervous. Do you get that way?
Yeah, but I don't think you got up.
No, maybe I just laid there and I woke up and I was like,
I had great sleep till like 11:21 at night.
11:21.
11:21. And then I was up. And then I was just up until we got up.
Yeah, because we got up at 4 a.m. To go to the race. And we started going to bed at like 10. So I was thinking I'm gonna get 6 hours, and then literally didn't sleep. So I did the whole thing on, no joke, 3.5 hours maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was a good time. So what is Kim's a big planner here, so they give you all these things like you got to get your bags and check in and stuff like that. As we're getting ready for the race, what are some things that you want to talk about with, so you have like 5 bags, right? So you get ready for the day and you have a bag. The cool thing about doing a full Ironman is they kind of take care of everything for you. So you have your morning clothes bag. So you go down there and whatever clothes you're wearing before the swim starts, you put them in there and then it shows up later in the race. It's magical. And then when you get out of the swim, you go to the bike, you have a bike bag that has all your bike gear in it. And then when you get from the bike to the run, you have a run bag and it has all your run stuff in it. And then you're allowed halfway bags on the bike and run. And you use those, right? Like you put stuff in it that they have out there for you on the course if you want it.
No, I put special things in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like,
It's the special needs bag.
what'd you put in there?
I put lots of Uncrustables.
Did you grab them? Did you stop and get them?
Yeah, all of them. The whole box, all 4. I got all 4 Uncrustables.
And this is on the bike?
Yep.
So 56 miles in on the bike, halfway, you stop and you get your halfway bag, and it has 4 Uncrustables in it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a whole box. I just put the whole box in. Lots of snacks, but I only took the Uncrustables. Maybe I took some like liquid IV or something because I didn't like the Gatorade on the course.
Yeah, the Gatorade didn't sit well with me either. It was a different type of Gatorade.
It was that Gatorade endurance stuff.
Yeah,
that you didn't like.
nobody ever drink that. That's terrible. I've gotten sick to my stomach twice on it.
And I had ibuprofen, so I took some ibuprofen halfway through. I don't know.
I did.
Cliff Bar, but I only took the Uncrustables.
See, I don't use the halfway bags. I'm just like, and you kind of pack the same way that I don't use Uncrustable, or I don't use halfway bags. You pack a week before vacation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if I forget anything, then I'll just get it while I'm there. And I'm like, for me, I'm starting the race. I got my Cliff Bars. I'm like, well, there's water on the course. We'll be all right. But talking about morning of, so we get there, we have all our bags situated, and you're allowed one last time to go into the bags. You usually have to check in your stuff the day before the race. We had to check in our bikes like 2 days before the race. You're allowed to check in your stuff the day before the race, but the morning of, so we get on this bus and they take us down like 2.5 miles to the swim start. And I think I had to nervous pee like 3 times.
Yeah, you had a nervous pee before we got on the bus.
Yeah.
And so we waited, I don't know, 25 minutes in line.
And which was so funny because all the emails were like, we have plenty of porta potties. And we got there and I was like, long line.
And then we got to swim start. And then I think we waited, I don't know, at least 45 minutes. I mean, it felt like that long.
Yeah. But I was really nervous. I was really nervous and I had no sleep. So there's that. And then, so we're making our way down to the swim, and so what is that like? Like, what do? We go down there. I peed 5 times, and then we get in line.
And you just wait.
Yeah, there's like a big. I mean, they stick like 2,500 or 2,600 of you all like all together, which is fine. But like you're just sitting there, and you're like waiting, and you like feel like you're about to go into battle, and they're just waiting to release the cannons for the water for you to get into the water. And we all just stand there, and they play some music. I did some dancing. She loves my dancing. She tells me all the time I should be a dance instructor. She's just shaking her head no. And I went out to the side. I had to do some push-ups. Had to get all. I was like, oh man, I got to calm down. But like, I mean, why do you get nervous before it starts? Like, there's not that much pressure.
You get nervous before anything. You could tell me I have to just go run like a half mile in a race and I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that because I get nervous too. And I'm like, I'm not like running for money here. It's my own personal.
There's pressure to finish.
Yeah, there's that.
Pressure to finish and to perform well.
Yeah, I get really nervous. And but the cool thing is so we entered the water together. So they walk you down on this dock, and at this point we have like our wetsuits on, we got our caps on, we got our goggles on, and this is when we talked about those bags earlier. Like, you go down to the swim start, not in your wetsuit, kind of like fully dressed, and then you change into your wetsuit, change whatever, and you have this white morning clothes bag, and you put all your stuff in the morning clothes bag, and you hand it to a volunteer, and then they organize it and they bring it to all your stuff later in the day. So now we're in there. We got our wetsuits on, swim cap on, goggles, ready to go. They do the national anthem. They send out the pro men. 5 minutes later, they send out the pro women, and then we go. And we got to basically jump in together.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah. We jumped in together last time.
And all your nerves, how is it for you? Like my nerves, when it starts, they go away.
Instantly. But I was dreading the swim. So I thought I'd be more nervous, but then it was just so easy.
Why were you nervous about the swim as a collegiate swimmer?
Oh, because I realized during training that I wasn't a swimmer anymore.
Oh, you've reached that age.
Yeah, I'm old now.
You haven't been in college in 8 years. So it's like,
Yeah, I'm too old. So swimming was hard. So I had to actually train for swimming this time.
yeah. Well, so the swim itself, though, was downstream, which was freaking glorious because the last time when we did Ironman Louisville, what was your time?
An hour and 8 minutes.
And mine was like 1:15, and I did 1:01, and you did an hour flat. I mean, that was awesome.
Best swim ever.
Yeah, and they told us, Adam Fetter, shout out to Adam Fetter, he gave me this tip before the race started, and they said it again, that like if you get in the middle of the water, that's where the most current is. And I was like, well, I'm gonna take that pro tip. That was fantastic. And I got in the middle of the water, and look, dude, I swear that I could feel. I know that lakes don't have waves, but I felt like I was just riding a wave. I mean, I can swim as far as you want me to swim, but I'm not a competitive, like fast, good swimmer. And I felt like I was doing like that. You know how you guys like count your swim strokes? Like every single time you try to get it in less amounts. I mean, this is how you swim, right? You see this?
Only if you're going like down in a lap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I've never been able to do that because my stroke rate's too fast. But I felt like I was doing that. I felt like I was Michael Phelps. I was just reaching out. Woo. So basically, if you put a fan on me and put me in downhill stream, it was like swimming downhill. Then I'm watch out, Michael Phelps.
Okay.
It was good. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but I did it in like an hour. So
Hour and 1 minute.
hour and 1 minute. And I was kind of mad because I was trying to be like really patient, but I was like, man, dude, I didn't know that I was moving that fast. Like I just kind of wanted the clock to say 59 minutes. If I knew that, maybe I would have pushed a little bit harder. But then I was like, nah, your ego's going to get in the way. And yeah, but it was cool before the swim started that, I don't know if you think like this, but like getting motivated on the buoys, they said, hey, the buoys are one color till halfway. And then they change colors and the last one's red. Mm-hmm. They get you fired up.
The bridges got me fired up.
Why the bridges?
Because I knew after 3 bridges I was done.
Yeah, that is true.
And so we went around this corner, and then there they were, the 3 bridges. And I was like, heck yes.
The 3 bridges were cool to swim under.
But the 3 bridges took me 600 strokes to get under the last 2.
Why did you count that?
What else are you supposed to do?
Oh my God, you counted to 600.
No, I counted 20 breaths a lot of times. So that was every breath is 2 strokes. And it took me 600 strokes to get under the last 2 bridges.
I couldn't even tell you. That's crazy.
That's what I did.
All righty. So that's the swim. And but that actually, going back to, I'm going to answer all the questions that you guys are commenting here in a second, so keep commenting. But one of the questions that was asked before we did it was, Kim was just talking about counting to 600 or whatever. What do you think about during the whole race, like the whole Ironman? What are you thinking about?
Lots of math. So I'm the weird one that doesn't, no Garmin watch. No, are you okay?
Yeah, I just had something in my eye.
No Garmin watch, no bike watch or whatever they're called. No, nothing. I have nothing that tells me my time. So I just, do a lot of math, like 600 swim strokes. And then you're out on the bike and you need to go at least 15 miles an hour. So every hour you have to do 15 miles, which is 5 miles every 20 minutes. And then you get a mile marker every 10 miles. So you need to pass a mile marker every 40 minutes. And then you just know if you're ahead of schedule.
Yep, I do the same thing.
But you wear lots of Garmins.
So I just got this Garmin because it tells me like exactly where I'm at, which by the way, Jeff Coggins and Adam Fetter should either work for Garmin or get 10% like on these commission sale. They hooked me up. They set up my watch. I didn't know what I was doing. They set up everything the whole way through. I mean, that was pretty solid. But yeah, I'll also play like mental mind games with myself like the whole time, like something to stay motivated. I'm halfway to halfway, or, okay, I just ran this mile. Like on the run, there's aid stations every mile, but they put them at the half mile mark. So I would like run, and then I'm like, oh man, that was cool that I just passed that mile. I'm feeling a little tired. No, bro. In a half mile, you get an aid station. Like, like I'm always doing that with myself, like to break down the time and stay motivated. And I try actually not to think about the task. I don't want to think about swimming, because then I'm going to like slow down, and I don't want my mind to drift and think about something else. Like if I'm on the bike for 6.5 hours, I don't want to think about, Strongside or something, like, because what'll happen is I'll slow down. I'll start thinking about the thing and I'll slow down. But I met this guy on the run, and we were talking for a little bit. We were on the second loop, and he's like, dude, I'm getting beat up. And he's like, I don't want to do the second loop and all this stuff. And I looked at him. I said, dude, you're on the second loop. There's only 2. You got to stay positive. Think that every step you take, you never have to do again. You're on the second lap. How cool is that? And he's like, oh, that's a really neat way to stay positive. And I was like, yeah, dude, if you let the negativity seep into your brain, you're done. It's all about doing math, staying positive. Because I think that like the math helps you win.
Yeah, I always count the miles backwards. It's not like, oh, I've done 30 miles on the bike. No, I only have 90 miles left.
Yep. All the time. I love crossing over. Like it was a 116-mile bike. I love crossing over the 16-mile mark and being like, yeah,
100.
I got less than 100 miles left. Freaking in 6 hours, I'm done.
Yeah. Same on the run. Like only 6 more miles. 6 more. And then also, shout out Janelle and Megan, because last Ironman, I'm like, oh, look at all these cute chalk writings on the ground that people get to see. And it was always the same person. Like the same person gets all these cute notes on the ground on their bike and their run. And I'm like, oh, they must have such a great support team. Well, they went and drove the whole 50-mile bike course and wrote us notes in the middle of the road that we could see the whole entire time.
And that was pretty special, because I would not say that the bike was super. I wouldn't say the whole race was very spectator friendly.
Not at all.
Meaning that you couldn't like see people a whole lot out there. So it was really neat to ride. And I didn't know that they did it. And I just see like, Strongside Woodstock and like just like all this stuff down on the ground. I was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But talking about the bike, so going into the bike, so we get done with the swim, and then you go into transition. And the thing that was different about transition this year is they didn't have that many like COVID protocols or whatever. But one of the protocols that they had was you typically run into a big female tent and a big male tent. And the tent has covered sides on each side because, there's a lot of people in there getting naked. So now they just did one big open tent with no walls, and they put a little black box in the middle if you wanted to hop in this whole black box and change.
Just a regular 10 by 10 pop-up tent.
It seemed a lot smaller than 10 by 10, and I don't know why they didn't put a light in there.
No lights.
There was no lights. It was pitch black, and you were going to go hop in there and get naked and didn't really know what was going to happen once you get in there.
Yeah. Well, I only had one other person in there.
I just was like, I don't know what it was like in the women's thing, but the dudes, we're not super organized to begin with. And it was just kind of like find a spot, rumble, and I was like, it was fine. It was cool. Like we all knew what we were doing, like get in, get out.
Yep.
But that made it a little slower.
Definitely needed a light though.
Yeah. If I had a comment section, I would have said put a light in the locker room.
They didn't use any of their lights. They didn't use the lights on the run either though.
Yeah. I don't think the light guy showed up to work that day.
I agree.
But anyway, so then we get out and we get on the bike. And to me, the first, like if you look at my split times, I'm doing like 20 miles an hour for the first like 20, 30 miles. It was a very fast out course. Like I wasn't trying to go hard. It was just naturally faster. And I was pretty cool to like mile 70. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel at like mile 70? At mile 70, how long were you out there for? I think I was out there.
Mile 70, I was out there for 5 hours.
No, it couldn't be that long because I was
Four
out
and a
there
half.
maybe 4.5 because I was at. It took me 3:45 to do 70 miles.
Okay. Well, I don't know. 4.5 hours or so.
So probably because I only beat you by 30 minutes on the bike.
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. So maybe 4.5, 4:15.
So you're already out there like 4.5 hours. And at this time, you're just getting like not bored. You're getting very uncomfortable. You've
Very
sat in the same
uncomfortable.
position. You haven't seen anybody forever. Like
Well,
what?
no, you just went through that really good spot because you got your halfway bag.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Not me.
Yeah.
I don't take mine.
Well, you still had all the crowds
Yeah.
through that halfway bag area.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you went like 10 more miles, and then it was mile 70.
I didn't really get frustrated till mile 80. So the cool thing about this Ironman is this is actually the longest Ironman in the world. They had to extend the bike course from 112 miles to 116 miles. And I didn't really mind that 4-mile extension until I was in the race. And then I was like, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That was an extra 15 minutes to bike that. Yeah. And at mile 80, my body just started like, I mean, freaking, you sit in the same position for 4 hours. Like you're not, and your legs never stop moving.
Yeah. I was just tired. My butt hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
The thing,
mile 70 is when you had all the rumble strips and the bump and the watch out course caution or whatever it said.
There was a very crappy section of road.
That was mile 70 to 80.
Yeah.
And then that was also the big uphill.
Yeah.
The one big uphill.
Yeah, I saw. And on the second lap around that same uphill, like it was awkward if you weren't walking your bike up. Like I was one of the only people that rode my bike up there.
Oh, we all rode our bikes.
Well, good for you. I'm just saying where I was at. I'm just saying it was that steep.
Well, I think it's illegal to walk your bike forward.
You know, found that out in the rule book, right? That it's illegal to get off your bike and walk it forward.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's only that. Did you think the bike course itself was that hard?
No.
Yeah, I thought the internet made it seem a lot harder than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and all these YouTube videos you watched.
I watched about the run. The run. We'll get to that in a second. But, you know, the bike itself, though, like 116 miles or 112 miles in a regular Ironman, it is hard. Like, it's very hard. But like, you have all these gears and, like, you can slow down. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're kind of, it's called bike for show, run for dough. Like the bike is more about management. You win the thing in the run. So it's like when we start talking about the fatigue and the breakdown and why we feel so terrible today and stuff really has to do with the run. I think it's just your intensity management.
Yeah.
In the whole thing.
I agree.
Oh yeah. I wrote some notes down here. You got to help a guy on the bike.
I did.
Did you get his name?
No, I don't think I ever saw him again. I don't even remember what he looked like. He was wearing white, maybe.
Well, how'd you help him?
Well, he popped his tire, I guess, and he yelled if anybody had some extra stuff, and I did. Because I carry a lot of stuff because I sure don't know how to change a tire, and I need a lot of extra things if I needed to do it.
So what's the extra stuff? What'd you give him?
A little nitrous thing to fill your tire up. Basically air. Got it.
And he said what?
Thanks so much. Let me make sure it's good, though.
Just
I gotta go, bro.
Hang out here in case, I need another one.
I told him I couldn't give him any more.
Yeah, I'm out. And he actually need one for me.
Yeah.
But he said it was gonna be good karma for you.
Good karma. I think I had good karma. I didn't have a tire issue. My chain didn't fall off.
Yeah.
So I was good because I sure don't know how to repair my bike. So
me neither. I mean, I feel like I could. I don't know, but I don't want to find out.
Nope.
But like very soon on the bike, I thought I popped my back tire, and I like pulled over and looked at it for a second and kept going. But yeah, I was getting a little paranoid because I saw a lot of flat tires out there.
Lots, because the road conditions were so bad.
And I think the people that have the carbon wheels, like the thicker wheels, the longer valve stems, increase your chance of getting a tube puncture.
Yeah,
I think so. But the bike was good. A lot of good scenery. A lot of good. There was like cows and stuff. Moo. It was a good time. Yeah.
Good time.
So then there becomes the run. So, and also too, for all you guys commenting, we're going to answer these at the end. So kind of hang out. But then you get into the run. All right. So like I said, the swim was almost downhill. It was super easy, super fun. The bike is more just about tolerance. I mean, 116 miles is not easy. I am not taking anything away from it. I'm just saying that you have gears. There's elements that you can manage. There's just stuff you can play with, right? And you can slow down if you want. But the run, so I did the half Ironman on this course in like May, and that was the hardest run course that I've ever been on in my life. It was terrible. Not really complaining. I'm just saying like it was hard. So when you do the marathon run in an Ironman, let's start with the aid stations. How far are they, and like what do you get? Like what is an aid station? So Kim referenced this earlier. In the bike, you're getting aid stations every 10 miles, and it's every mile on the run. So what's an aid station? What do you get?
You get in the run.
Yeah, let's talk about the run.
You get water. There was a song. One aid station had a song.
Yeah.
Water, Gatorade, Red Bull, ice at the end, snacks in the middle.
Yeah, so they set out like, I mean, there's got to be at least 20, 30 volunteers at each aid station.
Oh, and Coke.
Yeah, and they set out like four or six
Four.
sets of tables. And it's like one table is water, next table is Gatorade, then you have snacks, and then it's snacks and Red Bull and stuff like that, and then it's Gatorade and then water. That's how it always ended, right? And you have ice.
It was only 4 tables.
Huh. All right. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was just 4, but that's how they set it up. And then you get as much of it as you want. And so what'd you get? So you enter this run first off, my strategy was run every mile, walk every aid station.
Yep.
What was your strategy?
Run every mile, walk every aid station, and walk up the hills, which at the beginning there was only one. And I did that for like 8 miles.
Awesome. What do you get at aid stations? Like, what's your go-to?
Chips, pretzels, mainly chips, but the first few aid stations didn't have chips.
Yeah.
And water, because the Gatorade was the same crap I won't drink.
Yeah, I was really just getting the Gatorade for the sugar, but I was doing water. I would always get 2 things of water, one in my mouth, one over my head, and then Gatorade. And then I love Lay's potato chips because that's salt. So I would do Lay's potato chips, and then I'd get like another water at the end. So I'm getting like 2 waters in my mouth. And then as the race progresses, I would start alternating. Like I would get flat Coke sometimes and then some not. Because I didn't want to, what you can run into is like overloading the food, and you just start getting sick to your stomach because now you ate too much or you put too much stuff in there.
Yeah. And then you try to run, then you just feel sick.
Yep.
Yeah, I did that at like mile 10. And so I didn't eat for a while.
Yeah. But the run itself was pretty good for the first like 7 or 8 miles. And then you hit this hill called like Barton or something like that.
Yeah, you cross the bridge.
Yeah.
And then you hit the hill.
And then you hit this hill. And this is what I watch some YouTube videos about. We typically don't watch. We don't study the courses because like it's like Googling what's medically wrong with you. I mean, like everything's just about, oh, it's terrible, you're gonna die. Like, you know, like there's nothing good about it. So you just look at the course, you see kind of how much elevation there is. All right, cool, go get it. Direct me while I'm on the course. And but that sucker was 7 miles is cool, and then it is like uphill for 4 miles.
4 miles. You get one good downhill.
You get one little downhill
at the very beginning.
And when I say 4 miles uphill, like we even drove it with Megan and Janelle yesterday. Like it's not like
that
rolling.
Was this morning.
Or that's this morning, yeah. It's not rolling. It's like literally, it's just like this. But what's cool about it is they shut down basically the whole road. And you were talking about earlier, Kim, that like they bring all the people out there. It's a big old block party.
Yeah, all the neighbors come out, set up their tents, block party, shots of beer for the runners, which that's gross. Horrible.
I did not partake.
They were gone by the time I passed it the second time. So somebody did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a block party. They clearly enjoyed drinking to watch us suffer while running by their houses on the hill.
Yeah, and at that part, so my goal was to run the whole marathon, and I ran probably like, let's say 95% of it. I was running every mile, walking every aid station, and I'll tell you my strategy, Kim, and then you can tell me what your strategy was. So you do 2 loops, and I'm looking at I looked at how fast it took me to run the first 13 miles, and I knew I had to do it again, and I kind of added some time in there because I knew I was going to slow down probably. And I start figuring out like what I need to run at. And I'm like, okay, you've already been through this Barton Hill once, and it was very, very challenging, and you're going to have to do it again. So what's your plan going to be? And I said, all right, well, I know the first 7 miles of the run they're hard, they're not easy, but it's not this hill. So I need to put everything in to these 7 miles because there's no way that I can run this hill. Like nobody ran the entirety of this hill, maybe the pros, but like you're not going to do that. It was that big. So I was sticking to my plan: run every mile, walk every aid station, run every mile, walk every aid station. And I would be real strict on my aid station. Like cannot walk until you reach the aid station, must run when the aid station's over, when you pass those 4 tables. And then when I got to the hill, I was like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run for 2 minutes, walk for 1, run for 2 minutes, walk for like something to go up this hill for like the 4 mile segment. And then anytime that it would get remotely flat, I'm starting to run again. And when she talked about math earlier, I started looking at, I wanted to finish I was pretty confident I could do under 13:30, but I thought under 13 hours would be awesome. And I actually got under 12 and a half hours. And I started doing the math on it. And I kind of broke down the average of how fast I needed to run. And then I just kept trying to stay above that average. So I had gap time if I needed to walk. So that's how I kind of navigated that hill because it was 4 miles twice. So 8 miles of the 26 miles. What was your strategy on the run? You met that guy for a little bit too, right?
Yeah, my one-on-one friend.
Yeah.
Well, I left transition at 4:35, and I had no goals, just finish. I didn't really care what my time was going to be. So just to finish and then run aid station to aid station. So I started running my aid station to aid station, got to mile 8, wasn't sure how I felt. So I kind of took it easy the next few miles. That's when we got to the hills, and I would run halfway up the hill and then walk the rest, run the downhill, run the flats, and then ran halfway up the hill. I think I had to walk a flat for a little bit. And then we found our friend, our massage lady.
Oh yeah, Renee, our massage lady's out there. I didn't know she was gonna be there.
Yeah, me either. So I saw her at mile 11, and so she motivated me to run, and so I started running again until I got to the hill on the way back. And then we got to our halfway bags in the run, and I got some more ibuprofen and some Oreos. So,
do you like talking to people on the run?
Yeah, I talk to everybody.
I hate it.
I talk to all the people.
And that's awesome. But like,
I don't want to talk on the podcast, but I'll talk to the people dying.
Yeah, they try to talk to me and they're just like, "So how you doing?" And I'm like, "Freaking, I'm doing the same you are right now. Promise. I don't want to talk about it. I'm miserable. I just want to get to the finish line."
Yeah, but it's fun. You get to suffer together.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like bros. Like we don't have to talk a lot. Like I just know. I know you're in pain. Why can't we just stand next to each other and run? I will know exactly how you're feeling.
Oh, we talked about all sorts of stuff. But then I made a mile 13.
Yep.
Feeling better. And so I did my aid station to aid station again. And then I got to mile 17 and I was feeling really good. And I met this guy and we did 1 minute on, 1 minute off at a pretty good pace. And I kept looking at my watch and I was like, I had a goal at the halfway point that I could cross by 10:30. And then I was with this guy running and we just talked about life. I know what he does for work. He knows what I do for work. We know all sorts about each other. No idea what his name is though.
Yeah. That's kind of special though. I mean, I get the scenario.
Yeah, no idea what his name is. And then looked at my watch and I was like, I definitely can beat 10:30. I think I could cross the finish line at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you're saying time of day.
Yeah, time of day. And so I was like, I think I can cross the finish line at 10 o'clock. And if I cross the finish line by 10 o'clock, I would be under 13 hours or under 14 hours. I'd have a 13 in the front, which would be amazing for me.
Yeah.
So I told him at mile 21, which was at the start of the hills, that I was leaving him. I was like, we got 5 more miles and I'm leaving you. And so I did. And I just ran the last 5 miles, basically. I ran as hard as I could for 5 miles and just walked when I was exhausted on the hills. But power walked. As fast as I could power walk, I was walking.
Did you ever get gut punched on the run?
Mm-mm.
I did mile 21 to like 23. And I started having like all these conversations with myself, like at that time. So I knew I was going to beat 13 hours, and that was like my stretch goal. And I'm like, dude, I could walk it in right now and still beat 13 hours. And, but I was like, don't do that to yourself. Like, don't overdo it and go crazy. But like, I just had to keep pushing, because what was happening is like my aerobic system was fine. I could still like breathe through my nose, and like, I was running like a normal pace, but my muscles started breaking down, and it was hard for me to like stand up straight. And and you start wanting to like take it easy. And I was like, nah, dude, you have got to push. And then when I saw the idea,
I have to move.
oh no, she's very uncomfortable. When I saw the idea that I could get under 12 and a half hours, that I didn't even think was reasonable at that time, I was like, dude, you got to kick it into gear. And I think the last mile and a half I ran at like an 8-minute pace.
I felt like I was flying. I mean, everybody that I was passing the last 2 miles was like, dang, look at that girl. So, I mean, I had to be going fast, right?
Yeah. I think also, too, when people take it easy, they take it too easy. Like when you talked about walking up that hill, and you're like, I'm power walking.
Oh, yeah, I was booking it.
Some people like literally just like shuffle. Like they don't, and I'm like, come on, we got to work. Like we got to keep moving forward.
I mean, that was us the first time.
Yeah.
We just had a party, I feel like, the last time. We were just having fun.
Yeah, I was not doing well. Like I got so sick.
You weren't doing good.
Like we beat our old time by like 3 hours.
Yeah.
That was wild. But anyway, so we get through this run. We get done, and I don't know about you, but man, running through that finish line, I know the Ironman we did before in Kentucky had an amazing finish line. It's supposed to be like the best in the world, but this was super cool. I don't know. I just felt it was special that like everybody stuck their hand out, and I got to like high five everybody running down, and I was like, that's kind of neat. And
I didn't get that experience.
that was it was cool, man. I had a really good time running down that finish line.
I did try not to cry. I started crying when I got into the line of people, and I couldn't breathe, so I had to suck it up. I literally couldn't breathe, so I had to suck it up. Suck it up until you finish.
Yeah.
And then I cried for a second, and then I was okay.
What do you think about, and this is the last thing we'll talk about before we go into questions and stuff. What do you feel about not wanting to eat, but you had to eat?
Oh, I never had that problem.
What do you mean?
Oh, I was fine eating.
See, I don't want to eat.
Oh, no.
And I had to eat. I ate 4 pieces of pizza and 2 Cokes.
Oh, you mean after?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't eat. I ate half a piece of pizza that I threw on the ground and picked it back up and ate it.
I hate eating after the deal, but I know that we need the sugar and carbs back in our body. I mean, that's all you burned for 12, 13, 14 hours.
And I drank like, I don't know what, five sips of the Sprite.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have regular Gatorade.
That is the only time it's appropriate to slam sugar back into your body. Which, all right, let's start going through these questions before we go into, we got our live questions here. We have, somebody asked about eating. Oh, yeah. During race fuel. So these are the questions we got. During race fuel and why? So like, what do you eat and why?
I eat. What did I eat in the morning? We ate bagels in the morning.
No, during race.
Oh, Uncrustables. Lots of Uncrustables. Potato chips. And water.
Why Uncrustables?
Because you said to a long time ago.
Yeah, but I didn't know if there was a reason you kept doing it, because I don't really do them anymore.
Because they're good.
Yeah. I do Cliff Bars on the bike.
Oh, and granola bars. Because
Yep.
they're also yummy.
I do Cliff Bars on the bike. I eat a Cliff Bar every hour. I try to eat about 250, 300 calories an hour. So every 40 minutes to an hour, I'm eating a Cliff Bar. I ate 7 Cliff Bars on the bike. Woo. And, I drink every 20 minutes, and my water can put a noon tablet in it. It's all electrolytes. And then I'll do a gel as needed. On the run, so in training, I actually don't run farther than like 11 miles. Because we both kind of feel this way. Like in training, you're going so far. Like you don't have aid stations out there. You just need a good quality run session, whether that's intervals or distance or whatever. And then in the run, like when I have aid, I'll do Gatorade. And I really like salty foods because it helps you hold in the water. It's like the Lay's potato chips and stuff.
I agree. And shot blocks.
Next question. What's your favorite part, swim, bike, or run?
Run.
I would say mine's the bike.
Gross.
Yeah.
You don't get to see anybody. There's no excitement. And it is the only part that you can get disqualified or can't finish because of a malfunction. That's not your fault.
Yeah. Which course do you prefer better, Louisville or Chattanooga?
Louisville.
Yeah, me too. What surprised you about the race, your time, people, etc.?
My time did.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to do that good. I mean, I decided I was going to do this in May.
Yeah.
Mitchel did his half. I said I was done. I couldn't commit anymore after we signed up, after pandemic. And
No, we signed up before pandemic.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We signed up before pandemic. They got canceled. I said I couldn't do it anymore. I'm done. I didn't do the half. And then watched him do it and regretted it. And I just said, I'm going to suck it up. And so I sucked it up. May, what was that, 17th or something? 19th, 18th? I don't know, something like that. And here I am.
So that goes into the next question. What keeps you motivated with the half and the full being pushed back? Because that's pretty challenging. I'm going to train. Oh, just kidding.
Clearly I wasn't motivated until I went back to the race and was like, I forgot how cool it was to be able to say, hey, I did that, and the experience and just how supportive literally every stranger known to man is. I mean, it doesn't matter who you see. They're going to cheer for you and say how great you are doing, even though you're dying and walking. You know, and it's just a really cool experience to go through. So that's really what motivated me to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to take basically a month off too with my skin cancer surgery and then opening Roswell in the middle of training. I took a month off.
Yeah, that was in the last like 25% of training too. That's when I was only
awful.
getting. That's only when I was getting a little nervous. I was like, oh no.
I didn't think I'd be able to finish because I remember after that, if I didn't commit to my 6-week rest of training, that I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, for me, it was just like, I kind of lump it in there with like everything else. Like it's I don't know why it has to be such a deep answer, but it's just like, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And if I say I'm going to do something, then I have to follow through with it. And I just because it got pushed off for, make up whatever reason, I can't not see it through because I feel like I failed. Like I used motivation as an excuse. I used Corona as an excuse. Like this is how I look at it. I don't know if that's the right way or wrong way. I don't really care. I'm just saying for me, I'm like, well, I still got to do it. So there's that. Toughest part of the training process?
just committing to training.
Yeah.
Just having to do it, knowing that you have to do it. Like I did. I think I did. Tuesdays was a Peloton day. Thursdays was a big run day. And then Sundays was massive training bike day, possibly run day, like after the bike. And then any day I wasn't doing that, I was at the Strongside. And maybe I'd put a swim in there on like a Friday morning. But some days you just didn't want to, but you knew you had to.
Yeah, I would say that's the hardest part too. But it's like it's a gift and a curse at the same time. Because like for me, it was like, okay, what's the hardest part? Committing to all this training and doing all this training. Okay. But it's also a giant pro because you get to organize your life so much. So like, I think a lot of times we don't take on a lot. So we don't do a lot. And you're like, oh man, how do you get all this done in a day? Well, it's because you're choosing to like not do this and not do that or whatever. So you start like saying, I'm going to do an Ironman and I'm going to do like all these other things. I'm going to coach the baseball team. You start like putting these things in there. I don't know if taking a lot out is the answer. Sometimes when you add stuff, it gets you to think more creatively, and you're better, you're more diligent, you're winning at things more often. So like as hard as it is to commit to it, I think that's a big win to committing to enough rather than not committing to much.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say one word answer there, but I like it. I really like it. All right, let's see our live questions. I'm going to have to lean in like this DJ Mitchy Mitch right here.
Why don't you just pull the computer closer?
Because it messes up the camera angle. Let's see. Any reason why you don't run together?
Because he's faster.
By
a lot. By like a whole hour on the run.
So it's a little bit that. So I caught her on mile like 5 on the bike, and I knew she was ahead of me on the swim. And I said, all right, if I catch her later on the bike, it definitely means that I'm not doing well. Like if I catch her 60, 70 miles in, I'm just going to stay with her. I'm going to run the whole thing. But I only caught you 5 miles in. And I was like, well, I think I can reach my goal time. And we're going to, I said, if you see me again, we'll finish the whole thing together because it means I'm dying.
I think we already had that experience. And this one was more about him doing what he wanted to do. And I just committed to say I was going to finish. So just let him do it. And I'll just be back there finishing. 2
different experiences though, doing it together and doing it solo.
Yep.
Like that was neat. How sore are y'all today? I am very sore.
Very sore. I think I'm doing better than you, but I don't know. I'm really, really tired right now. I'm really struggling. You
made a good point that it's probably because of all the surgeries I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Like on foot, knee, shoulder, like I don't know. I don't necessarily feel it, but just had a lot. But a lot of the run, I think a lot of the run is on the concrete.
Well, yeah, it's an Ironman. They're all on the concrete.
And that hurt. I would so much rather be on the side of the road or something.
Yeah. My knees hurt, my knees and my ankles. My knees and ankles hurt.
My IT band, all by the side of my knee, like both of them, all around my knees, they hurt so bad. Like I'm not like in pain, like nothing's broken. I'm saying like that is so sore. My feet hurt to stand on.
I don't want to walk.
My back muscles are so sore down by my hips and kidneys because like you're leaned over on the bike and then you're like trying to stand upright on the run. And I just feel very weak.
I don't have sore muscles. No sore muscles.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
I only have joint pain.
Yeah. And I'm very tired.
You want to go do one tomorrow?
I'm very weak and I'm very tired. Oh, when I jogged over to get my finisher jacket this morning, I was like, I'm about to break something. I took 3 steps to jog towards that person. So check this out. Long story short, you wake up the day after. What's supposed to happen is they don't put out any of the finisher stuff until the day after the race. And then you wake up the day after the race and you go in there and you get your finisher jacket. And you have to buy it, but whatever, you want the finisher jacket. So we go in there and nobody had told us that they already put out the finisher stuff and they sold it all. All right. And not only, I'm getting so mad here. Not only did they tell us they were putting the finisher stuff out on Friday when we got there, I saw that they had some finisher stuff out and I said, well, that's weird. They never do that. So I went up to the front desk lady and I said, hey, are you guys going to have different finisher stuff out on Monday morning? And she said, oh, yeah, definitely. We would not put that out early. And I said, all right, cool. Then I'm not going to get it right now. And then we come in this morning and that same dingbat lady was like, hey, just to let you guys know, we've had our finisher stuff out all weekend and we're all sold out. And I was like, you turd. Like I looked her straight in the eye and asked. But anyways, they had a couple left and they had sold out of everything. And some lady in the back was like, I got 4 men's mediums left, and that's all we got. And I'm a men's medium. And I freaking ran over there, or what I attempted to feel like running, going back to the sore thing. And I took probably 4 steps, and I thought my whole body was going to break in half. But I got my men's medium finisher jacket. Very, very upset at that lady. But whatever.
We both got one, so it's okay.
Yeah, she got one too. I don't know how. Nobody else in the store like lucked out. We just happened to luck out.
Yep.
Yeah, there was you want to talk about a whole line of angry Ironman people? Like we're all, it opens at 7 a.m. and everybody gets there at like 6. And there's like a line of all of us standing out the door because we all know the rules. We all know the rules that they don't put out finisher stuff until after you finish the race. And dude, I mean, that was an angry group of people.
Yep.
But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So other than that, I think I need to hydrate a lot. I feel like really just warm and tired. And this morning I was not well. I was like real sick to my stomach last night. I woke up a couple times. I didn't do anything. I thought I was going to throw up, and it's like the worst. Have you felt like that at all?
The last one we did, I didn't feel like that last night, really. I woke up at like 4:15 this morning and just was awake.
Yeah. Your body's just so freaking out. It doesn't know what to do.
And we had to get up for our jackets.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, might as well just be awake.
Yep. Do you stop along the way to use the bathroom?
Absolutely not. I'm just kidding. Yes. I legit had a lady in front of me pee on her bike, and then...
Can you see it?
Yes, I saw it. And then I had to get out of the way so it didn't get on me.
Was it like spraying back at you?
And I was like, are you joking? Do you not check to make sure nobody's behind you first before you do that? She
That's
legit peed on her bike.
Well, it's not, I mean, it is pee, but like at that stage in the race, like nothing's in you. It's just like literally water.
I mean, I don't care that she did it. That's up to you if that's what you want to do. I couldn't do that on the bike, but it was just going to get on me.
Debris as you're biking.
I didn't appreciate that. You should look behind you to make sure before you pee on yourself.
I stopped 3 times to pee on the bike.
Yep.
Because I was overhydrating. I was like, the weather was really good. And when the weather is really good, you can, people don't take in solid food, and that screws them up. Mm-hmm. Because they feel like, oh, the weather's good, I'm not tired. No, you just don't feel the heat.
I have to remember to drink water like yesterday. I was fine eating because I knew every 30 minutes I was going to eat something. But I had to remember to drink water. The first 20 miles, I was like, crap, I haven't even drank a whole water bottle. Yeah.
So I'm like drinking like crazy just to make sure that I don't dehydrate. But I would never stop at an aid station, because what happens is on the aid stations, that's where everybody stops. So I'm like, I'm going to lose 5 minutes because there's 3 porta potties and 18 cyclists.
Where'd you stop?
There was an old abandoned gas station, and I pulled to the side of the old abandoned gas station and just went to the bathroom real quick.
I didn't have a porta potty line, so I walked right in every time.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Well, not the dudes.
Not the dudes. I was with the dudes.
I don't know what I'm saying.
And women's race.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I always did. Went behind a tree one time. I mean, I was courteous, but I'm like, we all know. Look, I'm not, we all know we're in a race. Don't look.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. And, and I actually thought that I had a good skill there because I didn't have to wait for 5 minutes for a porta potty.
Okay.
So, pro tip, everybody.
I'm sure everybody's signing up right now since they got that pro tip.
Honestly, I was a little worried. I never peed on the run. And I was a little worried about that. But my hydration felt good. I was drinking a lot. I don't know why I didn't. So the concern about that is that when you stop sweating and when you stop peeing, your body starts shutting down, and you're probably really dehydrated. So it's a good thing to have to go to the bathroom. And that's one thing that we look for a lot. And then you look at the color of your urine and you try to make sure that it's not very concentrated. You want it to be as clear as possible. That's hard to do in a race like that, but that'll tell you how dehydrated you are. But yeah, I mean, I only got dizzy for like 2 or 3 miles. I got kind of on that mile 21 to 23 I was talking about. I was getting kind of dizzy and I walked uphill and I like nursed a Gatorade for a little bit. And I was like, all right, you're good. You're good. You just need to get some sugar back up.
I went to the bathroom 6 times on the run.
On the run?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But every time I went to a porta potty, I got dizzy.
Yeah. Those little hot cubes.
Yeah. So I thought I wasn't okay, but I was okay.
I'm drinking coconut water right now. I'm going to refuel my electrolytes. It's like, this has got to be like a half gallon.
No.
I don't know what it is. It's probably what? 1/3 of a gallon?
It's 33 ounces.
Oh, really? They just put it in a big box? I don't know. It looks real big. But, do you wake up super early the morning after to get your race jacket swag? Hey, Mary Dennis, just answered that question. Still mad at the lady for that. But yes, typically you wake up. We got up at like 5:30 to go get there. So yeah. Let's see. Jeff Coggins said you swam in an hour. Pros took like 45 minutes. So you're basically a pro.
Thank you. I agree.
Jeff Coggins also did you pee on the bike? Great little story. How's the tan coming along? It is coming along great. Look at that bad boy. Yeah. All on my arms, on my legs. She yells at me all the time because apparently I don't use enough sunscreen.
You don't?
I try the wrist tan. Let's see if you can get this. These, maybe not that. Definitely the watch. The watch tan lines, they're super solid. I tried
from yesterday.
Yeah, all from yesterday. The thing is that
you didn't put sunscreen. I don't have any of those.
No, I put sunscreen on, but the aggravating thing was typically what happens is they have people out there with gloves and they put the gloves all on the table, like in sunscreen, and then they put sunscreen on you. And that's always extremely helpful. But it was extremely helpful. But this year, they only gave us little teeny tiny packets of sunscreen. Did you see this joke of sunscreen? They laid out all these little teeny tiny packets.
Yeah, a lady opened mine for me because I asked her to.
Well, so in the dude tent with the no light in the locker room, they told us to go over by this little table and all these little teeny tiny packets of sunscreen. I had to open 14 little teeny tiny packets of sunscreen.
No, I got one and I had plenty because she squeezed it all out for me perfectly. And that's probably because guys have to run the guys' tent.
And it's just not nearly as efficient.
Exactly.
Well, so
the women's tent, very efficient. They'll help you with anything.
Well, so I got sunscreen all over my body, and which also means it's on my face. And 30 miles in, the sunscreen went in my eye, and it didn't come out for 30 miles. So mile 30 to 60, I'm biking with one eye because I can't wipe the sunscreen out of my eye because I got sunscreen on my fingers. So, thanks.
I also just borrowed a lot of other ladies' spray-on sunscreen. I told them all that I had skin cancer, so they let me use it.
What do you do? You just walk in there like an announcement? Like, hello, I have skin cancer.
I saw him spraying sunscreen on and said, hi, you'll be my best friend if I can use that. I've had skin cancer.
Oh, my God. All right. But yeah, so I tried to hustle on that sunscreen. Holly said she'd be so mad if she didn't get her swag. She's surprised isn't included. Yeah. So going back,
the shirts we have on are included.
Yeah, we got this shirt and this medal and a hat.
And a hat.
Yeah.
And a bag.
Yay! But you know this. All right. So you do get some cool stuff, but the bag they give you, I don't understand why it can't be at the same quality as the bags you buy online. So like I have an Ironman bag that I bought online, and then I get this bag for doing the race, and you can tell that it was made at like this quality, like way down here. And that was kind of frustrating. The finisher jacket and stuff, I get. Like, it's a business. They want you to go in there and they want you to like spend money. And I don't mind doing it because I'm proud to wear it for finishing the race. I was just really angry that they didn't freaking tell us.
I agree. They should have just said something.
Yeah. And then I'm getting real tired if I'm going to blame it on COVID stuff. And I'm like, no, your lack of communication, you could have put a sign out.
Yeah. Saying that this is the actual official Ironman finisher gear.
You could have sent an email that said, hey guys, I know typically we put stuff out on Monday morning, but we're going to, like, you could have done something. That's what I was mad about.
But hey, we got him. I just wish mine was one size bigger.
Let's see. Why do some people carry a million things on their body and y'all had nothing on your body? That's a pretty good question.
I mean, I feel like we probably should carry a million things. We just don't. We're not like official triathletes.
Yeah. Like I watched so top 2 go to Ironman Hawaii, and the top 2 in my division did it like 3 hours faster than me. Like, what do you do? Like, how? I mean, like to not be a professional, like to work a real job. How are you doing it that much faster?
The top one in my division was in 10 hours.
Because I'm not slow. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
But I don't like a lot. Like, so my body doesn't react crazy different to things. I think that's why. I used to try all this different stuff. I used to try different goos. I used to try like different whatever. And I noticed that I had the exact same experience. So the only thing that's ever messed with me is this Gatorade endurance stuff. I've tried to make it at home. I had it on the course. It doesn't sit well with my stomach.
Yeah. I personally can't just run. I can't run with anything.
Yeah, I don't want to hold stuff either.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I literally, that's all I focus on. So I just can't do it. And they have everything out there for you every single mile so you can survive.
Yeah, I watched a guy, I didn't watch him. I ran by it. Clearly somebody had dropped it. Like a pack of all these goos, like 6 or 8 of them, like taped together. And I'm like, you are going to run with that? And then I guess he just dropped on the ground, didn't want to.
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw a guy on the bike. He dropped an itty bitty baggie full of, I don't even know what was in there. Something so small you couldn't see it. He stopped his bike so he could go back and pick it up.
Must have been really important.
Very important.
Man, so at the very end of the swim, when I was trying to get out of the water, I did a swim stroke and I grabbed somebody had lost their watch like right in front of me. And I touched somebody's watch in my hand. I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. I was like, man, that dude's day just now it sucks. Like he probably had his whole life on his watch. And I could feel that I was touching a watch. And I was like, man, that sucks. Are we going to sleep with our medals on? We might, Bree. You never know. We might. I forgot that I had it on at breakfast. First off, this thing's so big. It's like, what are you supposed to do with it? Like, I can't like put it in my pocket or anything. But anyway, so I kind of forgot that I had it at breakfast this morning. I'm like walking all around the place with this giant medal. But the thing is like nobody knows. Like nobody nobody knows what an Ironman is.
It's only cool in the city you did it in. And then after that, it's not cool anymore.
For like 5 minutes. Like when I go limping into the grocery store tomorrow, no, everybody's going to be like, what's wrong with that guy?
That's what I said today. I said, it's funny. I said, you go, you do it. It's so cool. Last night, everybody's like, oh, congratulations this morning. Oh, congratulations. And then you drive home. And then Tuesday, every single one of us that completed Ironman on Sunday, we go back to work and nobody cares that we did that.
Yeah. And that's what I think makes it so humanizing and equalizing is like we were standing in line for the swim and this guy is right. He did the race yesterday. So it's not like he was downplaying others. And he goes, I don't want to take anything away from what we're doing, but anybody could do it. And he's like, if you trained enough, it's not like you have to do it if you wanted to do it. Right. And not that you should do it. Just if somebody is going to use can't as leverage, that's not true.
Yeah.
And
Anybody can do it. Like anybody can lose 10 pounds.
yeah.
Same thing.
And to your point about it is very humble in that sense. Like that's why you have to be so okay with you. Like my aunt texted me and she was wishing me congratulations and all that stuff, and that was great. And she was like really focusing on what place I got. And I was like, I don't even know what place I got. I don't really care. Like it's gotta be for you.
Yeah, that's what somebody asked me how fast I did it. And I told them, and they were like, is that good? And I was like, anybody that crossed the finish line did good.
Yeah.
Like what time doesn't matter. I mean, to me in this.
Well, that really matters because then you'll never be satisfied. It's got to be for you. It's got to be about you. You have to know your goals and your plan. And yeah. And Bree said, yeah, I'm sure you forgot about my medal. Yeah. And I just realized that I was in there with my finisher shirt, my finisher jacket, my finisher medal, and my finisher hat. Like, whoops.
And nobody knew I even did it.
I'm like, hi guys. Hi. Hi. This is my medal.
You forgot Holly.
Which one?
Will you do another Ironman?
I was saving that one for last. That was the big question.
Last.
Well, I mean, you already talked about it now, but anybody can ask anything they want.
I don't feel like she had another question at the end.
I don't know. But will you do another Ironman?
I think I'm officially retired.
Is this the announcement?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's not that I can't sign up.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy training, and I only enjoy race day. I enjoyed running. I hate biking so much.
Yep.
And so
I
might be done. I'll do a half.
Halves are, why are halves? I describe it as a half, going from a half to a full. Yes, it's double the distance, but it's 4 times as hard.
I agree.
I think, yeah. I don't know if I'll do another one or not. Because I think doing 2 is pretty cool. Because it's like you meet a lot of people that have done 1, but like doing 2, I'm like, that's kind of neat. Like not many people have ever done 2. And I always had like a thing, right? Like that's just how I do things. I need like a purpose. And I wanted to do, so the first Ironman that I did, I DNF'd because I was an idiot. I was going out way too fast and stuff. And I was 21. I was just whatever. So I didn't finish it. You and I met and we trained for that Louisville, and we went back to the race, same course, same everything that I had not completed before. We did the whole thing together. Like that had a lot of special meaning to it. And then this one was, it started one way. Like we had like 40 people and we were all going to do this half Ironman for the gym, and then COVID happened and whatever, but it had like a reason, like, dude, see it through, don't let this end it. Like, whatever. And here's what I'm thinking is on the swim, I was like, I'll do another one. Like I'm in the middle of swimming. And then on the bike, I was like, no, this is stupid. I don't ever know I'm done. And then
the run, you're like, I could do another one.
I'm having fun. And I think it has to do with like being around people, but there would need to be a thing. So like, I don't think I would want to do another one to just do another one. Like, Ironman Lake Placid, that's supposed to be a cool place. Like, let's go there and do it. Like, I'm not into that. But like, I mean, I've always really wanted to qualify for Ironman Hawaii, like since I was like 16 and saw it on TV. So then the question becomes, do you want to put that much time into it? Because there's always a trade-off. Like, how much time are you going to put into that? Or is that going to take from other areas? Like, is that something you want to do? I'm just saying, I don't think I would do another one to do another one. There would have to be a reason. Like if you one day were like, you know what? I'm coming out of retirement. I want to do another one. There was like a reason to go do it. Like
I said in maybe 10 years.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be that guy. Didn't you meet a guy that had done 11 Ironmans?
Yeah. And then I met another guy that did Ironman Maryland last weekend. Then he did Ironman Chattanooga yesterday.
I'm not doing that.
No, that's dumb.
And I'm also not interested in like not training for a few years and then trying to like go back and like qualify for Ironman Hawaii.
I met a lady that does one every year. And then she said she tried to do 2 one year and that was horrible. But she does one every single year.
Just to keep in shape.
Yeah, she's, I don't know, almost 60.
kind of cool. All right. So if you guys have any questions, comment them below and we will answer them. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this thing up. But thanks for tuning in and all that stuff. And hopefully you kind of enjoyed the story. It was a lot of fun. What was your favorite part?
Of what?
The race.
Oh, the run.
Any specific part?
Crossing the finish line.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best part.
Yeah, no, it was
Getting off my bike. That was really good.
the finish line and having them put that medal around my neck. Like, I know that sounds
They didn't
cliche.
put the medal around my neck.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't know if they were going to. I honestly just stuck my head over. I was like, here you go. I'm ready. And, but yeah, that was like the buildup of the whole day, like just everything. And I was like, oh, you did it.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I am very proud of you. I think you did awesome, and way to just crush your time and way to just follow through and dominate.
You too.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Well, you have any questions, hit me up. I'll answer them. I will see you guys back in the gym on Wednesday. I'm going to be working from home tomorrow. I'll be resting my body a little bit more, but appreciate it. And oh, look, Ollie made a special guest appearance in the podcast.
Come here.
But yeah, man. So it was a really good experience. We do appreciate all your words, all your outreach, from writing on the course to text messages to whatever, man. You guys are awesome. I thought about you guys so much out there, and I appreciate it. Let's all go reach our goals together. Let's dominate together, and let's just rise up and crush it.